Medical College, Honorable Vice Principal Madam, Honorable our respected Director Sir, and my Honorable Senior and Junior colleagues. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to again to all. Now I am going to intake that we call the PD state. That means nutrients are available in the bloodstream. And no food intake, what we call the fast cycle. That means stored energy has been depleted in the body and body must be used stored nutrients for energy generation. Objectives of feed per cycle: to store fuel when food is available in abundance, and to make stored fuel available for use during survival crises like starvation, famine, and severe injury. There are several hormones that homeostasis that metabolism, and primarily 6 hormones that helps the metabolic homeostasis. Among these, insulin only decreases the blood glucose level, and the rest of the 5 hormones like glucagon, cortisol, catecholamine, growth hormone, and thyroxine increase the blood glucose level. This is a figure. Alone the insulin decreases the blood glucose level by decrease the glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, ketogenesis, and lipolysis. And rest of the 5 hormones like glucagon, cortisol, catecholamine, growth hormone, and thyroxine increase the blood glucose level by increase the glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, ketogenesis, and lipolysis. 4 major tissues involved in the metabolic homeostasis, that are liver, brain, skeletal muscle, and adipose tissue. These 4 hormones are involved in the metabolic homeostasis. Now, feed state. This feed state also called the absorptive state, and the time of this feeding state is 2 to 4 hours after meal, when plasma concentration of glucose, amino acid, and fat increase, leading to increase the insulin secretion and decrease the glucagon secretion. And here anabolic process is dominant. The aims of the feeding state is capture of energy as glycogen and fat, replacement of any degraded protein during previous post-absorptive period. Now, nutrients are available in the intestine that leads to increase the glucose, amino acid, and fat in the blood, that leads to increase the secretion of insulin from the beta cell of the pancreas and decrease the secretion of glucose from the alpha cell of the pancreas. Now, this is the fate of the glucose in the liver. Here, glucose is oxidized to meet the immediate energy needs of the liver, and excess glucose stored in the liver as liver glycogen, as well as excess glucose also converted to fatty acid and glycerol moiety that helps in the synthesis of fat in the form of triacylglycerol. And this excess triacylglycerol released in the blood in the form of very low density lipoprotein. That's why in this metabolic rate of glucose in the liver are increase the liver glycogen synthesis as well as fatty acid, triacylglycerol, and VLDL synthesis. Assalamu alaikum, our honorable principal sir, and now I am going to continue this session. So, excess glucose is converted in the fat, because excess glucose converted in the fatty acid and glycerol, and combination of this glycerol and fatty acid helps in the synthesis of fat. This is the metabolic rate of glucose in the skeletal muscle. What is happening here? Muscle takes up the excess glucose and oxidizes to it, generate ATP for muscle contraction, and excess glucose stored in the muscle, skeletal muscle as muscle glycogen for use during contraction. Fate of glucose in the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue takes up the glucose to produce energy and convert it to glycerol moiety used to produce triglycerol. That's why increase the synthesis of fat in the form of triglycerol and uptake of the glucose. Then fate of the glucose in the brain. Brain depends on glucose for its energy. This is a summary of the metabolic rate of the glucose in the feed cycle. Here, it utilize uptake of the glucose and provide energy, and brain utilize this energy. Again, adipose tissue uptake this glucose and provide energy, and excess glucose converted into the fat and store this fat in the adipose tissue. In the liver, also uptake of this glucose and provide energy, and excess glucose stored in the liver as liver glycogen, and excess glucose again stored in the form of the fat in the form of triacylglycerol, and release this triacylglycerol in the blood in the form of VLTL. And skeletal muscle also uptake this glucose and release energy, and excess glucose is stored in the form of muscle glycogen. This is the summary of the metabolic rate of fat in feed cycle. Adipose tissue. The adipose tissue. This adipose tissue uptake this fat and store this fat in the form of triacylglycerol. Liver also uptake this fat and store this excess fat in the form of triacylglycerol, and release this fat in the blood in the form of very low density lipoprotein. And here skeletal muscle uptake this fat, and only the skeletal muscle utilize this fat as a source of energy. It is the second source of energy for skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle first source of energy is glucose and second source of energy is fat. This is the fate of amino acid from dietary protein. Increase the protein synthesis, oxidation of this protein to provide ATP, and also helps in the synthesis of excess protein. This is a summary of the amino acid in feed cycle. Here liver helps in the protein synthesis and also helps in excess from the utilization of the amino acid. Excess protein is converted into the fat, and with the help of the liver, this protein is stored in the fat, and skeletal muscle helps in the protein synthesis. That means excess protein again converted into the fat and stored in our body. Excess glucose converted into the fat, as well as excess protein converted into the fat in our body. Now, first cycle. First cycle, that means there is deficiency of nutrients in the intestine that leads to decrease the blood glucose, fatty acid and amino acid in the blood. That leads to decreased release of insulin from the beta cell of the pancreas and increase the glucagon from the alpha cell of the pancreas. So here insulin glucagon ratio is less, decrease, or glucagon insulin ratio also increase. It is called the catabolic process. Here catabolic process is dominant because nutrients mobilized from storage. Then the aims of the first cycle: degradation of the triacylglycerol in adipose tissue to provide fatty acid as fuel, maintenance of blood glucose by glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis to supply this glucose to the RBC and brain, increase the ketogenesis in the liver to supply ketone body in the brain and muscle, and minimum protein catabolism occurs here. This is the phase of the fasting. 3 phases of the fasting. Fasting state, it starts from 4 hours to 2 to 4 hours after meal. Then short-term starvation, it starts from the 24 hours to 7th day of the last meal, and prolonged starvation, it starts from 7th day of last meal onward. And metabolic fasting state, it starts from the 4th hours to 2 to 4 hours after meal. This is the figure of metabolic events occurring in the liver in fasting state. At first, there is occurred stimulation of glycogenolysis to maintain blood glucose level. This liver blood glucose by the process of glycolysis, provide glucose and maintain the blood glucose level up to 8 to 12 hours. Next event occurs in the liver is gluconeogenesis. It also provides glucose and maintain the blood glucose level up to 24 to 30 hours in our body. And last event is ketogenesis occurs in the liver, and liver provides ketone body and utilizes ketone body by cells. And this is the event in fasting stage of adipose tissue. Stimulation of lipolysis occurs and provides fatty acid, and this provides fatty acid utilized by heart, utilized by liver, and utilized by muscle, skeletal muscle. Then skeletal muscle in fasting, uptake and utilization of fatty acid and increase the proteolysis. This is another figure here. Uptake of fatty acid and provide acetyl-CoA and provide fuel and for muscle contraction, and proteolysis occurs and provide glucogenic amino acid, and with the help of this glucogenic amino acid it provides the glucose. Then what is happening in fasting in the brain? In brain, increase and utilization of the glucose, and this glucose provided in the liver by glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis, and this glucose is utilized by the brain and RBC. This is the another summary of the metabolic events during fasting. Here liver provide glucose by glycogenolysis as well as gluconeogenesis, and provide this glucose, and this glucose is utilized by the RBC and the brain. And skeletal muscle, by the metabolic process of glycolysis and glycogenolysis, it also provides glucose. And another summary during fasting state, skeletal muscle causes breakdown of the protein and provide glucogenic amino acid, and utilization of this glucogenic amino acid, gluconeogenesis occurs in the liver, and by the gluconeogenesis, by the liver provide glucose, and this glucose utilized by the RBC, brain, neurons. Then short-term metabolic events. Short-term distribution is stretched from 24 hours to 7 days of last meal, and events occur in the liver, gluconeogenesis and ketogenesis. Adipose tissue, lipolysis is accelerated, and in skeletal muscle, increased proteolysis, increased uptake and utilization of ketone bodies and fatty acid, and events in the brain, uptake and utilization of glucose. Then prolonged starvation. This prolonged starvation occurs 7th day of the last meal. This is the summary of metabolic events during prolonged starvation. Here, at first, from the adipose tissue, lipolysis occurs and provide fatty acid. And this provide fatty acid utilized by the liver, and utilization of this fatty acid, liver produce ketone bodies. It is beta hydroxybutyrate and acetoacetate and acetone. And also, this fatty acid provide energy to the
muscles.
skeletal muscle. This fatty acid utilized by the skeletal muscle, and this fatty acid utilized by the liver and provide ketone bodies. And these ketone bodies utilized by the brain, and during prolonged starvation, brain utilize 70% of the ketone bodies during prolonged starvation. And 30%, rest of the 30% glucose provided by the liver by gluconeogenesis, and kidney also provide renal by the process of renal gluconeogenesis also provide glucose. So the glucose comes from the liver by gluconeogenesis, and also comes from this glucose from the kidney by renal gluconeogenesis. So this rest 30%, and this glucose is utilized by the brain. Our kidney also acts as a buffer. Most important kidney buffer is ammonia buffer, and this ammonia buffer helps in the secretion of these ketone bodies, and minimize the ketogenesis that occurs in the prolonged starvation. During prolonged starvation, ketone bodies is provided by the liver, and this is minimized by the heating by the ammonia buffer and compensate the ketoacidosis that occurs in the prolonged starvation. Synthesized glucose by the renal gluconeogenesis, and renal acid excrete in the form of ammonia, which is needed to compensate the ketoacidosis that occur in starvation. Major fuels in different organ in different metabolic state. This is the final summary. This is the compact chart of major fuels in different organs in different metabolic state. Here after a meal, like well fit or absorptive state, brain utilize glucose, skeletal muscle also utilize glucose, cardiac muscle utilize fatty acids, and adipose tissue utilize fatty acids and also glucose. Fasting state, that means post-absorptive state, 4 hours to 24 hours. Brain utilize glucose, skeletal muscle utilize mainly fatty acids as well as glucose, cardiac muscle utilize fatty acids, adipose tissue utilize again fatty acids. Short-term starvation, that means 24 hours to 7 days of last meal. Brain utilize glucose, skeletal muscle utilize mainly ketone bodies as well as fatty acids, cardiac muscle utilize mainly fatty acids as well as ketone body, and adipose tissue utilize fatty acids. And prolonged starvation, that means 7 days of the last meal onward, brain utilize 70% ketone body, major source of energy, and 30% glucose. Again, skeletal muscle utilize fatty acids, and cardiac muscle utilize ketone bodies as well as fatty acids, and adipose tissue utilize fatty acids and also ketone body. And that's all from my. So thank you for all for patient hearing.
আমি জানতে চাই যেটা সেটা হচ্ছে ইন্টারমিডিয়েট ফাস্টিং এর ডিসঅ্যাডভান্টেজ যেগুলো সেগুলো আপনি হাইলাইট করলেন। ইন্টারমিডিয়েট ফাস্টিং যেটা আপনি ফরসাইভাইজার বলতেছেন যেটা আমরা টলারেট করতে পারি, বাট ইন কেস অফ রামাদান ইট ইজ অলসো এ সর্ট অফ ইন্টারমিডিয়েট ফাস্টিং অ্যান্ড নিউ স্টেটমেন্ট উইল গো এগেইনস্ট রামাদান অলসো।
There is some differences because we are taking huge food at the end of night. Huge food. আর এটা তো ইন্টারমিডিয়েট ফাস্টিং যেটা বলা হয় উইথ সাম স্পেশাল।
এমনি বললাম, আসলে ভুলে গেলে তো আমাদের অস্তিত্বই অপরাধ। যাই হোক, আমিও যোগ করলাম মানে কিছু। আর একটা বিষয় আছে, আমি ঘোষণা করে দিই, এই যে যারা এই আগামী ইলেকশনে নিজেদেরকে যোগ্য প্রার্থী হিসেবে উপস্থাপন করবেন, তারা আপনাদের দৃষ্টি এবং মন আকর্ষণ করার জন্য একটা বিশাল কেকের আয়োজন করেছেন। আপনারা কেক কেটে এটা উৎসবের সূচনা করতে ভুলে যাবেন না। থ্যাংক ইউ।
সহকর্মীবৃন্দ, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। প্রথমে আমি প্রফেসর ডাক্তার আসমা কবির, ডাক্তার মোশাররফ হোসেন ও প্রফেসর ডাক্তার জুবাইদুল কবিরকে নির্বাচন কমিশন গঠনের দায়িত্ব দেয় গভর্নিং বডির চেয়ারম্যান মাননীয়া জাহানারা হক ম্যাডাম, এই কলেজের অধ্যক্ষ, আমাদের প্রাণপ্রিয় শিক্ষক প্রফেসর ডাক্তার রণজিৎ কুমার মল্লিক এবং একাডেমিক কাউন্সিলের মাননীয় সদস্যদের আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন করছি। আমরা ইতিমধ্যে জানি, সবাই অবগত আছি, বাংলাদেশ মেডিকেল অ্যান্ড ডেন্টাল